Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here again to really unpack some complex ideas and bring you the most useful insights from, well, quite a stack of sources we've been digging into.
That's right.
And today we're tackling something that I think really resonates deeply with pretty much everyone trying to navigate our world, this hyper-connected, super fast evolving reality we're in.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about anxiety. Have you ever felt that? That sort of gnawing sense of overwhelm?
Oh,
Like you're
difficult.
just swamped by this endless flood of information, or maybe worried about your job with AI changing everything, or just, constantly comparing your own life to those perfect looking lives online.
Yeah, that comparison trap is real.
It's such a human thing, right? But it feels uniquely amplified today. Every new tech leap, every scroll, every single notification seems to crank it up.
It really does. The pace is relentless.
So our mission for this deep dive is, I think, a pretty unique one. We're going on a journey not to try and escape these modern anxieties because, let's face it, that's probably impossible, but to equip ourselves
Equip ourselves how?
with ancient wisdom. Specifically, we're looking at a really powerful set of interconnected Islamic principles. The idea is that these can provide incredibly robust tools to navigate these exact feelings.
So, wisdom from the past for present problems.
Exactly. Think of this as maybe a shortcut to getting well-informed about a kind of practical spiritual resilience. These are teachings that helped an early community face just immense pressure, not just survive it, but actually thrive.
Right, turning pressure into progress.
Precisely. We're exploring how these principles, though rooted in a specific tradition, offer some pretty universal insights into human psychology, resilience, purposeful living.
And the goal isn't just academic understanding.
No, not at all. The goal is to see exactly how these historical examples, these core ideas, can be applied to your life right now, today, to essentially convert that fear, that anxiety, into focused achievement.
Okay, sounds powerful. What are these principles?
We're going to unpack three core ideas today, and they really weave together, forming this potent formula. First, there's Sabr.
Patience, usually translated.
Right, but it's way more than just passive waiting. It's this active, deliberate endurance. We'll get into that.
Okay.
Then we'll dive into Tawakkul, which means trust in a higher power, sure, but, and this is crucial, always combined with diligent, strategic action. It's not passive resignation.
Action is key. Got it.
And finally, disciplined action itself. That's the essential component that takes these internal states, Sabr and Tawakkul, and makes them real, translates them into tangible results.
So, internal state plus external action.
Exactly. And our sources, they just beautifully demonstrate how together these principles don't just soothe anxiety, they actually transform fear and uncertainty into this powerful faith-driven achievement. It's like a roadmap.
A roadmap from paralysis to progress.
You got it. From potential paralysis to purposeful progress.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
so let's unpack this first bit. To really get the power of these principles, we kind of need to step back in time.
Set the scene.
Yeah, set the historical scene. Because the anxieties back then weren't, abstract worries about algorithms or information overload. They were acutely physical, existential,
It's a
constant.
very different world.
Totally.
Yeah.
The sources we looked at paint this incredibly vivid picture. Early Muslims weren't wrestling with theoretical what-ifs. Their fears were immediate, life-threatening, deeply personal.
Can you give us a sense of that? What were they facing?
Imagine the kind of emotional toll living under that kind of pressure. We're talking intense persecution. Just declaring your belief in one God could mean literally brutal torture, public humiliation, even death.
Wow. Just for belief.
Just for belief.
Yeah.
And we see accounts of forced exile, entire communities driven from their homes, abandoning everything, livelihoods, ancestral lands, all familiarity, fleeing for their lives with just what they could carry.
Uprooted completely.
Completely. And then there were these severe economic blockades. Picture this, being cut off from basic food, trade, shelter, by powerful enemies trying to starve you into submission.
That's intense pressure.
It wasn't just a tough time or uncertainty. This was daily life under immense, sustained duress. The fear was rampant. The uncertainty about the future, totally overwhelming. Devastating personal losses, loved ones, property, security.
This moment-to-moment survival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a struggle for sheer survival. This community was really teetering on the brink, facing odds that looked completely insurmountable. Despair could have easily just swallowed them whole.
And yet, they didn't just succumb to despair.
No, and that's where it gets really profound.
So what's truly striking here, and I think offers a really deep lesson for us today, is how Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, actually approached this fear, This pervasive, overwhelming fear.
Right. He didn't just ignore it.
No, he didn't dismiss it at all. He wasn't naive. He couldn't realistically tell his followers, just don't feel fear, right? That wouldn't have been human, given the danger they were in.
Totally unrealistic.
Instead, he acknowledged the dangers directly. He validated their feelings, which is so important. But then, with incredible wisdom, he skillfully redirected that raw human emotion, that instinct for fight or flight,
Redirected it into what?
into a powerful source of resilience,
Mm-hmm.
of purpose. He helped them essentially reframe their perspective on the situation.
Okay. How did he do that? Is there an example?
A key example is during the Hijrah, the migration from Mecca to Medina, a journey just fraught with peril.
Right, the escape.
Exactly. The Prophet, peace be upon him, and his closest companion, Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, were hiding out in this remote cave, Mount Thar.
I remember this story.
And their persecutors, driven by hate, wanting to capture or kill them, were literally right at the mouth of the cave. So close, Abu Bakr could hear them, their footsteps, their voices.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
Immense danger. And Abu Bakr naturally felt anxiety, not just for himself, but crucially for the Prophet. He expressed this fear.
And what did the Prophet say?
He responded with those incredibly profound words from the Quran. La tazan, inna Allahu ma'ana. Do not grieve. Indeed, Allah is with us.
Do not grieve. Allah is with us.
Now, this wasn't an instruction to just suppress the feeling or pretend the danger wasn't real. That's not it at all.
It was a reframe.
Precisely. A powerful, transformative reframe. It shifted the focus away from the immediate, overwhelming, humanly unconquerable threat
Towards the ultimate reality.
towards the ultimate, unwavering, divine presence and support. The lesson here is just crucial for anyone facing fear today. Faith doesn't necessarily eliminate fear, but it fundamentally reframes it.
Okay.
It channels that fear, that nervous energy, that self-preservation instinct into something else, into a purposeful drive towards perseverance, towards clarity, towards trust in a larger plan.
So it gives the fear a different direction.
Exactly. And this ancient counsel, it speaks so directly to our modern need, doesn't it? To find meaning and direction amidst our own anxieties. It reminds us that even in what feel like our darkest, most uncertain moments, we're not without an anchor. We're not alone.
It's an incredible thought, really, when you hear that story, the visceral danger, the immediate threat. It just highlights that core human experience of fear, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Universal. And just as those early Muslims faced, existential threats to their very lives, their community, we too face our own unique set of anxieties today.
Different forms, same root maybe?
Maybe. They might be different in form, sure. Maybe it's the pervasive dread about climate change, or the rapid displacement of jobs by AI, or those complex ethical questions popping up with new tech.
Or even just that pressure to live the perfect online life,
Oh.
that feeling of inadequacy it breeds.
Right. The specific triggers have definitely evolved, but that underlying human experience of fear, of uncertainty, it remains universally relatable. And what's so comforting, I find, and really empowering is realizing this. Resilience in the face of fear isn't some new invention. It's a deeply human path, a historically proven path.
It connects us across time.
Yeah, it connects us across centuries, and it offers a kind of blueprint, maybe, for how to not just survive tough times, but to actually move forward with purpose.
Okay, so let's dive into that blueprint, starting with the first principle.
Yes, let's dive into the first of our 3 core principles. Sabr. Now, when we hear patience, like you said, my first thought, and probably many people's, is just gritting your teeth, passively waiting, enduring hardship quietly.
The common understanding, yeah.
But the sources we looked at, it's abundantly clear this concept is far, far richer than that. It's not passive at all. It's active. It's even, you could say, an aggressive form of internal strength.
Aggressive, interesting.
Oh, in the sense of actively cultivating something. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more. To truly grasp Sabr, we absolutely need to redefine it. Move beyond mere patience to active endurance.
Active endurance, I like that.
It's dynamic, it's deliberate,
Yeah.
and it's an incredibly powerful state of being. This isn't about just waiting for the storm to pass.
Right.
It's about standing firm within the storm, strategizing even, maintaining your bearing, moving through it with unwavering purpose.
So it's about what you do internally during the difficulty.
Exactly. It's an internal cultivation of an unshakable core, regardless of the chaos outside. The profound insight of Sabr is that it's not about waiting for pain to end, but about actively cultivating an internal sanctuary, a sanctuary of purpose.
Wow.
It teaches us that our reaction to an event, not the event itself, determines its power over us. It's a strategic mental reframing. It conserves energy, allows for clear decision-making, even when you feel like you're under siege.
Okay, that's a much more powerful concept. Can you give us an example of this active endurance?
Consider the powerful, almost unbelievable example of Bilal. May Allah be pleased with him.
Okay, Bilal the Abyssinian, the first muezzin.
That's him. He was a freed slave who embraced Islam early on. This choice absolutely infuriated his former master, Umayyah ibn Khalaf, who was one of Mecca's most powerful persecutors.
Right, a dangerous enemy to have.
Extremely. Bilal was subjected to unimaginable torture, dragged out into the scorching desert sun, stripped, laid on the searing hot sand.
Horrific.
Then a massive, heavy rock was placed on his chest, designed to crush the breath out of him while they ordered him, "Renounce your faith, worship our idols."
Unbearable pressure.
They taunted him, threatened him. Yet, through all that excruciating pain, he famously repeated with this profound resolve just two words, "Ahad, Ahad."
One, meaning one God.
Exactly. Now, was that passive acceptance of pain? Not at all. This is an ultimate act of active endurance, an assertion of internal sovereignty.
Holding on to his core belief despite everything.
It required profound mental, emotional, spiritual fortitude. To maintain his belief, his composure under such extreme duress, it shows that true strength isn't the absence of pain, but one's unwavering response to it. His body was bound, but his spirit, utterly free, resolute.
That's an incredible example of inner strength.
And there are others showing different facets. Take the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself at Nif.
Oh, the journey to If. That was brutal too, wasn't it?
It was devastating. He journeyed there seeking support, hoping to find allies for his message outside Mecca, a vital step. But instead, outright rejection, mockery, and then brutal physical abuse.
They set children on him.
Yes. Children were instigated to pelt him with stones until his feet bled. They drove him out of the city, humiliated, hurt, alone.
What would a normal reaction be? Anger, revenge, despair?
Any of those would be understandable. Burning desire for revenge, maybe.
Yeah.
Deep despair, certainly. But instead, what did he do? He retreated to a nearby orchard, prayed, and made this heartfelt supplication, this prayer.
Prayed for help.
Not just for help. Critically, his prayer wasn't against his persecutors. It was for them, asking Allah to guide them, or at least their descendants, recognizing their ignorance, hoping for a better future for them.
Wow. Instead of cursing them, he prayed for them.
Think about the self-control that takes.
Yeah.
The immense empathy. The profound long-term vision that transcended his immediate pain, his emotional reaction.
He didn't let the immediate feeling derail the bigger picture.
Precisely. He protected his mission, his character, his community's future from being derailed by a short-term, emotionally charged response.
So Sabr isn't just personal fortitude, it's strategic.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Sabr in this context is a critical leadership insight. It actively safeguards a long-term vision, personal, professional, communal, whatever, from being compromised by immediate emotional reactions, or temporary setbacks, or the desire for instant gratification, or even crushing personal suffering.
It keeps you focused on the goal, despite the noise.
It allows for strategic, clear-headed thinking. Not just when things are calm, but especially in moments of intense pressure and chaos. It's that ability to pause, choose your response deliberately, and stay aligned with your ultimate purpose, rather than just being swept away by circumstance.
That's a truly powerful reframing of patience. It's not just enduring, it's actively enduring, with purpose, with intention. So, okay, how does this translate directly to your life today for the listener? Especially in our world, which is, fast-paced, often feels brutal.
Right, the modern application.
Think about the crises we might face now. Maybe the devastating blow of a career loss. Suddenly, your skills are obsolete because of AI.
Very real fear for many.
Or the crushing weight of a business failure after years of pouring your heart and soul into it. Or navigating a long health challenge for yourself or a loved one, where progress feels agonizingly slow, frustrating.
Difficult situations we all might encounter.
Practicing Sabr in these moments isn't about giving up. It's not passively accepting defeat. It's resilience training, powerful resilience training.
How so?
It's about maintaining your composure, right? Your core values, your belief in a larger purpose, maybe, your long-term goals. Even when everything around you feels like it's crumbling or changing at warp speed.
Staying grounded internally.
Yeah. It's about not letting the immediate pain, the immediate setback, or the fear of an uncertain future dictate your long-term direction. or wreck your internal state. It's the steadfastness that allows you to pivot, maybe, to reskill, to adapt, rather than just succumbing to despair.
It gives you agency in your response.
Exactly. So it asks you, the listener, to reflect. How might you cultivate this active endurance, this unwavering steadfastness? In your own moments of difficulty, how can you channel that inner strength, not just to survive, but to move through challenges with clarity, with intent, and with that unwavering commitment to your purpose?
Protecting your peace in a disruptive world.
That's it. Protecting your peace in a world seemingly designed to constantly disrupt it.
Okay.
So that's Sabr, active endurance. Now let's move to our second principle, Tawakkul.
Trust in God.
Yes, but this one is fascinating because it's so often misunderstood. Like you said, it gets simplified to just trust in God or leaving things to fate.
Which can sound passive.
Exactly. And it can sometimes be misinterpreted as an excuse for inaction. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, whatever happens, happens. A passive surrender.
Fatalism, almost.
Right. But the sources we've examined, they are incredibly clear. Tawakkul signifies reliance on a higher power, yes, but combined with diligent, meticulous action.
The action part is critical.
It's absolutely crucial. This distinction separates it from mere wishful thinking or fatalism.
Yeah.
It's a dynamic interplay between human effort and divine trust. It's about doing everything, absolutely everything in your power, and then releasing the burden of controlling the final outcome.
Okay. Effort first, then trust.
Let's look at the story again that illustrates this perfectly.
To really grasp the nuanced power of Tawakkul, we have to revisit the Hijrah story again. It just perfectly illustrates this delicate, yet incredibly robust balance.
The prophet's migration.
Right. Now the prophet, peace be upon him, he knew Allah had promised to protect him, to ensure the success of his mission. He had that assurance.
So he could have just walked out, right, expected a miracle.
He could have, perhaps, but he didn't. Quite the opposite. His actions showed meticulous, careful, highly strategic planning.
Like what?
Well, first, he secured a guide, Abdullah ibn Urayqit, someone who knew the desert routes inside out. And interestingly, this guide wasn't even Muslim at the time.
Really? That shows practicality.
Exactly. A purely practical, results-oriented approach to solving the problem of navigation. Then he arranged for provisions, food, water for the arduous journey. He didn't just assume they'd find sustenance.
Covered the basics.
Then the strategic hiding in the cave, Mount Thor, for 3 crucial days. Why? To let the initial intense pursuit die down. To let the search parties lose his trail. It was a calculated delay.
Clever. Using time strategically.
And he didn't stop there. He coordinated with others for intelligence and support. His son, Abdullah, would sneak out news from Mecca each night.
Keeping him informed.
And his shepherd, Amir ibn Fuhaira, would graze his flock over their tracks each morning. Why? To erase any evidence of their movements. Camouflage.
Wow. That's incredibly detailed planning.
Every conceivable human effort, every possible strategic step was taken to ensure safety, ensure success. It was only after executing this thorough, diligent, exhaustive planning, after exhausting all human means, practical and strategic, that he placed his ultimate trust in Allah for the outcome.
So it's not do nothing, then trust.
No, it's do everything you possibly can, then trust. That distinction is vital. It's what separates Tawakkul from fatalism, which suggests passive acceptance without effort. True Tawakkul actively rejects that.
It implies effort is almost a prerequisite for trust.
In a way, yes. It suggests that divine assistance often comes through, or is contingent upon, our utmost diligent effort. As the saying goes, trust in God, but tie your camel.
Right, the famous analogy.
And this concept is beautifully captured in the Quranic verse.
Yeah.
And whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him.
Allah is sufficient.
Yes, but it's understood within that context.
Yeah.
The context of having first exerted your best effort, tied your camel. Then all the sufficiency takes over for what's beyond your control.
Okay, that makes sense.
So the insight here is profound. Tawakkul is this powerful synthesis. Strategic planning paired with profound surrender of outcomes. Do everything in your power, skill, intellect, preparation, execution, and then, only then, release the anxiety tied to the results.
Acknowledge you don't control everything.
Exactly. We control our efforts, but the ultimate outcome, not solely in our hands. And crucially, it's not our burden to control. This raises an important question for us today, doesn't it?
Which is?
How often do we plan without trust, burdening ourselves with the immense weight of every possible outcome, leading to stress, anxiety, burnout?
All the time, probably.
Or, conversely, how often do we claim to trust without putting in the necessary effort, mistaking passivity for piety or wishful thinking for faith.
The other extreme.
True Tawakkul harmonizes these. It optimizes our mental approach to action. By consciously separating effort from outcome, you free up cognitive resources. You become more present, more creative, less prone to that paralysis by analysis that comes from fearing future results. It's almost like a performance enhancer born from spiritual trust.
That's a radical shift in perspective for many of us, I think. It completely reframes how we view control, effort, outcome, especially now when we're constantly told to optimize and control everything.
The illusion of total control.
So, okay, what does this all mean for you, the listener, in your daily life, your current challenges?
Yeah, bring it home.
Think about entrepreneurs launching a new venture, a super competitive market, or students facing crucial exams that feel like they define their whole future, or professionals working on high-stakes projects where so many factors are just beyond their direct influence.
The anxiety of results in those cases can be paralyzing.
Totally. We often tie our self-worth, our future happiness, our whole identity to hitting a specific desired outcome.
Which is a fragile way to live.
Definitely. But Tawakkul teaches us to channel that energy differently. It's about doing your absolute best. Plan meticulously, work diligently, learn, adapt, push your limits, seek advice, innovate, give it your all.
The tying the camel part.
Exactly. And then truly release the emotional burden of the outcome. Find peace in the process, knowing you've done your part.
Trusting the outcome to a higher wisdom.
Right. And if the results aren't what you expected, it's not necessarily a failure of your effort. Maybe it's a redirection, an opportunity for growth you couldn't have foreseen.
A different door opening.
Could be. This perspective, it can significantly reduce stress. It can foster greater creativity because you're less afraid to fail. It allows us to be more present, more effective in our work, instead of constantly worrying about tomorrow or what the algorithm might decide or what competitors are doing.
It transforms uncertainty from a threat into a space for potential.
Exactly. Potential and growth. Okay, so we have Sabr, active endurance. We have Tawakkul, diligent action plus trust. Powerful internal states, but the sources make it really clear. They're incomplete without a crucial third element.
The bridge to the real world.
Precisely. The prophet, peace be upon him, wasn't just patient and trusting internally. He was, first and foremost, a visionary leader who manifested consistent, organized, disciplined action.
He built things. He organized people.
Yes. This is the missing link. The active component that transforms internal resolve and spiritual trust into tangible, real-world reality. It's where aspiration meets execution.
Vision without action is just daydreaming.
Couldn't have said it better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vision without disciplined action remains mere wishful thinking. And the historical accounts of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, vividly illustrate this blend. Profound faith, yes, but equally profound practicality.
Give us an example of that disciplined action.
Okay, take the moment he arrived in Medina after the Hijrah. The community was diverse, right? Immigrants from Mecca, local tribes in Medina. They all needed integration, a common anchor.
A unifying center.
Exactly. So what was the very first institution he established? The Masjid Nabawi, the Prophet's mosque.
The mosque in Medina.
Now, this wasn't just a place for prayer, though that was vital. It was a strategically foundational act that shaped an entire civilization.
How so? More than just a prayer space.
Oh, much more. The masjid immediately became the community hub, the center for governance, for education the Sufi companions learned there, for social life, for military planning, for judicial proceedings. Everything radiated from there.
Wow, the nerve center.
It was a tangible manifestation of a vision for a structured communal society. And it was built with disciplined effort, brick by brick, by the Prophet himself and his companions toiling alongside him. This wasn't accidental. It was deliberate, disciplined institution building.
Action creating structure.
Exactly. Or consider his leadership in critical battles. We're not talking about just hoping for victory or relying only on prayer.
He planned.
Meticulously. In battles like Uhud and Kandak, the Battle of the Trench, he set clear, often innovative strategies. At Uhud, he carefully positioned archers on a strategic hill, gave them specific, unyielding instructions. He understood terrain, disciplined execution.
Even when it went wrong later, the initial plan was sound.
The plan was sound. The deviation caused issues. Then at Kandak, facing this overwhelming coalition of enemies, far superior in numbers and resources.
The siege of Medina.
Yes, he adopted a brilliant defensive strategy, digging a massive trench around the vulnerable parts of Medina. A concept totally new to Arab warfare at the time, suggested by Salman al-Farsi.
It's a Persian companion.
Right. Now imagine the organization needed for that, the coordination. The consistent, disciplined effort from the entire community to dig that huge trench in a short time under extreme pressure. A monumental feat of engineering and collective action.
Not spontaneous, highly organized.
These were not spontaneous events. They were the result of meticulous planning, clear leadership, and the disciplined, collective execution of those plans. Faith provided the motivation, the why, but disciplined action built the defenses, the how.
Okay, so the principle is clear. Action makes vision real.
Undeniably, action transforms aspiration into reality. And what I find particularly compelling here is how consistently the historical accounts show this seamless integration. Profound faith and profound practicality working together.
Symbiotically.
Not one or the other, both.
Both. Faith provided the vision, the strength, the moral compass. But disciplined action was the indispensable vehicle that brought that vision to life. It shows these spiritual principles aren't just for contemplation or comfort. They're for tangible, real-world application. For building, achieving, making a difference.
There's a psychological element too, right? Oh, definitely. This isn't just about willpower. It taps into our brain's reward system.
Yeah.
Establishing consistent small actions builds neural pathways for success. It creates a positive feedback loop that combats that feeling of overwhelm from constant change. You're essentially building an internal operating system that's resilient to external chaos.
Building your own internal structure.
Precisely.
And this brings us right back to you, the listener, especially in the context of this AI era we keep mentioning.
The age of automation and algorithms.
Right. We live in a world characterized by relentless automation, by algorithms constantly nudging our attention, pulling our focus, by digital distractions everywhere, an overwhelming flood of information making informed decisions feel almost impossible sometimes.
It can feel like quicksand.
It really can. Like everything is in flux, constantly shifting, hard to find solid ground or a clear direction. In that kind of environment where external structures feel increasingly fluid, chaotic, disciplined habits, they become absolutely essential anchors of stability. Your personal bulwark against the tide.
Creating your own structure when the external world feels structureless?
Exactly. Think about it concretely. Consistent prayer or meditation, that daily moment of stillness, connection, grounding. Or dedicated learning routines, keeping your skills sharp, relevant, in an AI job market demanding constant adaptation.
Lifelong learning becomes essential.
Or just structured work schedules, blocking out time for deep focus amidst the sea of notifications. These aren't just rigid rules, they provide a vital framework, a sense of purpose and direction when everything else feels wishy-washy.
They build a personal fortress against the chaos.
That's a great way to put it, allowing you to maintain focus, make consistent progress on your goals, cultivate a deep sense of achievement, even amidst the swirling winds of technological change. These disciplined actions prevent you from just being swept away by the current. They give you agency, control, a steady path forward in a world that often feels totally out of your control.
Building your own Masjid Nabawi in your daily life.
I love that. Building your own inner mosque, your center. Okay, so let's bring it all together now. We've talked about Sabr, that active endurance, internal strength. Tawakkul, strategic planning, plus profound trust, releasing the outcome.
Right.
And disciplined action, the consistent effort turning vision into reality.
The three pillars.
When you look at them, they're not isolated concepts, are they? They form this potent, truly synergistic formula. Sabr plus Tawakkul plus disciplined action.
They work together. They amplify each other.
Exactly. And this isn't just, abstract philosophy or a nice historical anecdote. This is presented as a historically proven engine for profound, lasting transformation, personal and communal.
A complete methodology for engaging with life's challenges.
Yeah, a whole methodology.
And the historical proof is, frankly, compelling, even astonishing when you think about it.
Tell us about that.
Consider the early Muslims again. They started as this small, oppressed, persecuted minority, facing dire threats to their very existence. Ridiculed, undermined constantly.
From near extinction, essentially.
Pretty much. Yet within a single generation, which is incredibly fast in historical terms, almost unprecedented by consistently and comprehensively applying this trio of principles, they transformed from a vulnerable group into a global civilization.
That's an incredible turnaround.
It really is. They didn't just survive, they built states, established sophisticated universities, fostered scientific advancements that laid foundations for things we still benefit from today. created a society striving for justice, intellectual curiosity, profound purpose.
It's more than just a religious narrative, then.
Oh, absolutely. It's a powerful testament to the efficacy of their methodology. It demonstrates what's possible when these principles are truly embodied, truly lived. It shows how internal fortitude, combined with diligent effort and trust, can literally reshape the world.
Wow. Okay, so how does that historical proof connect directly to us now?
Let's draw that direct, vital parallel to our contemporary experience. What are those specific anxieties of our digital age we mentioned?
Information overload.
Drowning in it. Constantly bombarded, leading to decision fatigue, mental clutter.
Job insecurity.
Huge one. Automation, generative AI, machine learning redefining industries, legitimate fears about the future of work, the relevance of our skills.
And that social comparison.
The constant, often unhealthy pressure online. Curated highlight reels making everyone else seem perfect, leading to inadequacy, envy, deep discontent. These are anxieties that can truly paralyze us, steal our peace, our productivity.
So what's the integrated solution from these principles?
Okay, the path forward, directly from this ancient wisdom, faith-driven patience, Sabr. That allows us to weather these informational storms, these economic shifts, with internal strength, protecting our long-term vision from short-term panic.
Okay, Sabr first.
Then conscious trust in a higher plan, Tawakkul. This liberates us from that overwhelming burden of trying to control every outcome in a world full of complex, unpredictable variables.
Letting go after doing your best.
Exactly. And finally, establishing purposeful, disciplined routines, disciplined action. These anchor us, provide structure, guide our efforts to build new skills, maybe curate our information diet, focus on what truly matters amidst all the chaos.
Like anchors in the storm.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these principles offer a robust antidote to modern burnout, chronic anxiety, directionless ambition. They provide a framework not just for surviving this era, but for thriving, and with purpose, with profound inner peace.
So it's about reframing stress.
Completely. Every moment of stress or uncertainty, when approached with this powerful combination, Sabr, Tawakkul, action, can be reframed, not as a stumbling block to be feared, but as a doorway to achievement, an opportunity for growth, innovation, profound personal development.
That's a truly inspiring and practical perspective. I mean, imagine the shift, the profound shift that could happen in your own life, listener, if you consciously applied this formula.
It's a shift in operating system.
Yeah. If you truly integrated Sabr, Tawakkul, and disciplined action into your daily approach, moving from that state of constant anxiety, the fear of the unknown, worry about outcomes, feeling overwhelmed by change to one of purposeful achievement.
Where effort feels meaningful regardless of outcome.
Right. Where your efforts are aligned with a deeper trust, sustained by active endurance, driven by consistent, meaningful action. It's about taking the reins of your inner world, cultivating a deep sense of agency, even when the external world feels utterly chaotic and unpredictable.
It's not just coping, it's cultivating.
Exactly. Cultivating a life of meaning, profound resilience, true accomplishment that's kind of independent of external circumstances, building that unshakable foundation for your spirit and your work.
So maybe we should summarize the key takeaways.
Good idea. Let's distill the core insights.
Okay. To briefly summarize the critical lessons for you, the listener, from this deep dive. First, anxiety is natural. It's universal, a human experience, part of our condition in a complex world. Don't beat yourself up for feeling it.
Acknowledge it first.
Yes. But Islam provides not just comfort, but tangible, actionable tools to channel that anxiety. Not just suppress it, but transform it into growth and progress.
Tools, not just platitudes.
Exactly. And remember the distinct yet interconnected roles. Sabr is your resilience, your active endurance, your steadfastness in difficulty. That internal strength letting you pause and choose your response.
The inner fortitude.
Tawakkul is your reliance on a higher power, but always, crucially, with diligent strategic action. It's the peace from doing your absolute best and then releasing the outcome.
Effort plus release.
And disciplined action is your consistent effort. The structure, the routine that turns aspirations into reality, that builds your future piece by piece.
The engine that moves things forward.
Those are the core components.
Exactly. And when you take these three together, like we said, they don't just offer individual coping mechanisms for stress. They really form a powerful, comprehensive leadership model.
Leading yourself first.
Absolutely. This isn't just about leading others. It's about leading yourself. Defeating fear, cultivating profound inner peace, and fostering meaningful achievement in all parts of your life, personal, professional, spiritual.
Holistic approach.
And in this AI era, where change is accelerating, Information overload is nuts, digital distractions are everywhere, the future of work feels uncertain. These principles are, I think, more relevant than ever.
They feel almost countercultural, but necessary.
Right. They serve as an essential shield against burnout, a compass against directionless ambition, a foundational blueprint for building a life of purpose, impact, and deep satisfaction. They are how you thrive, not just survive.
Well said.
So, okay, let's unpack this one last time. Let's focus on what you, the listener, can truly carry forward from this deep dive and actually put into practice.
Moving from insight to implementation.
Yes. Because, as we've discussed, knowledge is great, but it's most valuable, most transformative when it's actually put into practice. These principles aren't just for intellectual understanding, they offer concrete, actionable ways to integrate them into your daily life.
It's about doing, experimenting, experiencing the shift.
Exactly. This isn't just about listening, it's about doing.
Absolutely. So let's get really practical here. For you, the listener, here are some actionable steps, ways to integrate these principles, drawn directly from the practical wisdom in the sources.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, I'd encourage you, identify one specific source of anxiety in your life right now. Just one to start.
Make it concrete.
Yes. Maybe it's that career uncertainty we talked about.
Yeah.
Or a financial worry, a personal challenge in the family, or even just feeling overwhelmed by your endless to-do list.
Okay, got one in mind.
Good. Once you've identified it, take a moment, reflect, maybe even write it down. How could Sabr active endurance help you reframe your emotional approach to this?
How would active endurance change how I feel about it?
Right. Then how would Tawakkul, combining your best meticulous effort with consciously releasing the outcome, affect your stress levels, your decision-making around this issue?
What can I do, and what do I need to let go of?
Precisely. And finally, what concrete, specific, disciplines action steps could you take consistently to move forward on this, even small steps?
Okay, Sabr, Tawakkul, action applied to one specific anxiety. Good start.
Next, consider incorporating a simple daily practice routine. It doesn't have to be huge.
Small steps, big impact.
Could be. Maybe start your morning with a conscious dua of reliance, a short prayer or affirmation, like Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Just setting that intention of trust and peace.
Grounding yourself at the start.
Exactly. Then, midday, maybe when things are hectic, pressures are mounting, try a 2-minute pause for Sabr. Just 2 minutes. Deep breaths, focus inward. Deliberately redirect your intention. Instead of letting pressure hijack you, consciously choose your response. Practice active endurance.
A micro practice of Sabr.
Right. And in the evening, before bed, a brief, honest review. Ask yourself, did I act with discipline today towards my goals? Even just asking fosters accountability. Helps track progress on building those anchors.
Morning intention, midday pause, evening review. Simple.
Another truly powerful idea, I think, is to create a trust journal.
A trust journal, what's that?
Actively record moments where you consciously did your absolute best on something and then deliberately let go of the outcome. Trusted the process, and then observe and record what happened. How did Allah provide? Maybe a better solution emerged, an unexpected path opened up.
So, tracking instances where letting go worked out.
Exactly. It's not about magic. It's about building tangible, personal evidence for yourself. Reinforcing the effectiveness of Tawakkul in your own life. You start seeing patterns. Affirming that trust isn't misplaced, that releasing control can paradoxically lead to better, more peaceful outcomes. It helps rewire your brain.
Building your own proof points for trust. I like that.
And finally, maybe a bit more challenging, but potentially deeply transformative, a 30-day challenge.
Okay, what's the challenge?
For 30 days, try to replace any complaints you might voice or dwell on. Replace them with either an active Sabr, meaning active endurance, consciously reframing the situation, looking for the wisdom in it, or take a concrete action step towards resolving the issue.
So instead of complaining, either endure with purpose or act.
Yes. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, consciously choose, am I going to practice Sabr here?
Yep.
Or am I going to take a deliberate step, however small, to fix it or move forward? It shifts you from a passive victim mentality to an active agent of change in your own life.
That could be powerful. Stops the negative spiral.
It really can. So this raises an important question for you right now, listener. What is one small, tangible step you can commit to taking today to begin embodying these principles? Just one. Start small, but start.
That's a fantastic set of action points. Truly empowering, deeply practical. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
And as we close out this deep dive, I just want to leave you all with one final, maybe provocative thought to continue your own personal exploration.
Something to chew on.
Exactly. Building on that idea of the trust journal and these daily practices, imagine the profound, maybe even revolutionary shift that could occur, not just in your external circumstances, but deep inside, in your internal sense of peace, purpose, capability.
The inner landscape changing.
Yes. If you committed to even one of these practices, the Sabr pause, the morning dua, the journal, the complaint challenge for an extended period, say 30 days, or even longer, just observe. Observe closely how consciously applying Sabr Tawakkul and disciplined action might reveal a strength within you that you didn't even know you possessed.
Unlocking hidden potential.
Maybe. A resilience that allows you to face the future, even a future dominated by the complexities of AI and constant change, not with apprehension or fear, but with confidence, with clarity, and with a profound, unshakable purpose.
A powerful vision for moving forward.
Indeed. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into ancient wisdom for the AI era.
Thank you for having me.
We really encourage you to continue exploring how these timeless principles can powerfully guide modern living, especially in the face of today's unique challenges and opportunities. May you find strength and clarity on your journey.